Right. So I'm going to introduce the Unity starter assets. There was previously a package that had some functionality within Unity, and a few years back it broke. Anybody who was in last term or a previous class of mine, I've tried to modify these assets and upgrade them so we could use them, or you could use them in your projects, or at least get a hang on how these packages work. But luckily this year Unity's updated it, or created a new package called the Unity Starter Assets package. So this is just a quick overview of how to get it into a project, or how to start a project with them, where to find them and what they do. Just short tutorial, won't go on too long about it, and hopefully it'll be helpful within the projects that you create. You're fully allowed to use these assets in your projects, and I would probably encourage you doing so, because a lot of this is already built for you, meaning that you know it allows you to do work on other aspects instead of having to worry about getting your character controller working, or the likes of. So what are the starter assets? Well, the starter assets are Unity created free and lightweight. There's a first person and a third person character based controller. For the Unity package is system, you need to have, I think it's the 2020 Unity 2020 was the what they were built for. You probably would be able to put it into something a bit earlier, but things might get broken like it did with the other standard assets. That was standard assets. These are called starter assets, just to clarify that. It probably would work, but anyway, for this module we'll be using Unity 2020 or higher anyway. So the reason why 2020 and higher is necessary, the assets will come with a Cinemachine and the newer input system. So older versions of Unity probably won't work with those. You could probably upgrade the packages within those versions of Unity as well, but it would take more modification, more work. So they're designed to give you a quick start into prototyping and building character controllers and various different game genres through a system and methods that allow you to easily build and expand upon just about any type of project. So that's why I'm saying it's really handy for you to use these in your projects. The starter assets are split into two separate assets on the store, on the Unity Asset Store. A first-person character and a third-person character controllers. You can quickly download and import the controllers you need for your project from the asset store, then into Unity. You can either open it directly into Unity, or what we'll do today is we'll create a new project and I'll just install them there. Both controllers are built in the same modular way and based on the same scripts and logics, and both projects use the built-in render pipelines, which are either the Universal Render Pipeline, the URP, or the HDRP, but we'll be sticking to the URP. Okay, so let's go over and I'll show you the how to set up a new project in the new Unity hub. I've got the beta version of it just because it allows me to do a dark theme. If I switch over to my full screen. Okay, there we go. So in the new beta, I have no projects yet. What I'll do is I want to make sure I've got in my installs the Unity version is the 2020.3.18F1, and that's the LTS version. the long-term support version. So I've got that installed already. If not, what you need to do is install the editor, and official releases, it usually comes up here, and then you would it would have a blue install like this one does here. It's grayed out for me because obviously I'm already have it installed, but you just click install and go through that process. So my projects, I want to create a new project, and I'll give it a name. The project I want to create is starter pack tutorial. Starter pack tutorial. Make sure I know where it's going to be. Oh, let me see, where should I put this? There we go. Unity. Okay, and I'll select that there. Okay, and what package? So I'm going to use the 3D sample scenes, which is this one here. So the 3D sample scene, the URP, that just means that it's got the Universal Render Pipeline project already set up, so I don't have to create the actual pipeline and any of that extra work, and I'll just do create project. Okay, I'll probably skip while this package is opening, because obviously it has to import all the assets. So what I'll do is magic of editing, I'll skip it and we'll go straight into when it's open. Okay, so as you can see, the Unity package is opened. It opens with this default scene of the URP, which if you're not familiar with, you can go and zoom in and have a look around and see stuff like that. And just okay, I just flipped myself over to the other side of the screen, so I'm down in this bottom corner because otherwise you can't see everything over here. So yeah, so first of all, what I'll do is I'll just create a new project or a new scene, just to have something blank. So scene 1, spell it correctly, scene 1, and open that. Okay, but all the URP stuff is still there. And now we've got this, how do we get the standard assets? So if I go into the web page, and hopefully that'll pull up. There we go. So all we have to do is go to the Unity Asset Store. You can just do a Google search for it if you don't have it, already have it, or just it's www.assetstore.unity.com. And let's do a search for starter assets, and turn on that. Okay. So here we go. It's the second and the third. So this is the third person. This is the first person. And what you do is make sure you signed into Unity and just click the add to my assets. And we'll do the same on the first person, add to my assets, but I've already got them in. So what we need to then do is go back to our full screen, and we'll go to components. Is it? No, window package manager. And what we want to do is in the package manager on this drop down here, it probably will be either in project when you first open it, or the Unity register. And what you want to do is click on it and go to my assets, because you'll be signed in on the same account, and it'll show all the things that you've added from the asset store. And then you can either do a quick search for the starter assets. starter. Every time I click a key, it refreshes and then it doesn't take the next key. So anyway, starter assets. So you've got your first person, first person and the third person assets. And we can just click on the download here or download here. So we download those. That'll download and then we can click import. And let's import everything just so we've got it all. Import that. Okay, what I'll do is I'll create 2 different scenes. Scene 1 for the first person, scene 2 for the third person, just so we're not mixing the 2 things up together. That'll download those and import them into this scene. It should, I think they have their own actual default sort of tutorial scene, which we can open up as well, but... Okay, do you want to enable the backend for the new input system? I'll click yes, and what it will do is restart Unity. Because I do want to use the new input system, that's what these starter assets there we go. Close the... And while we're here, we might as well go back to my assets and do that again. They refresh. There we go. And we'll install the download and install the third person character controller, just so we've got it in our asset tree in our down here in the tree. So we've already got the folder there that says starter assets, and that's the one that's the first person controller. If I import that, then you'll notice it'll pull up everything that's not already in the first person controller, because they do share a lot of assets. So that's why in that tree, when it comes up, what do you want to import, some of those things won't be ticked. Because it's already imported in the first person controller. So if you just click import again, it'll only update and import the third person stuff that isn't already in this starter asset pack. Okay, so if we go into our first person controller folder, we can click on the scene and let's open the playground. Close the package manager. And that's bright pink. So why is that bright pink? I would say that's bright pink because the universal render pipeline hasn't been set up for it. So let's do edit render pipeline, universal render pipeline, and upgrade all to universal render pipeline. There we go. And now we're not bright pink. Okay, so that's the first person controller, and if I click play, you'll see that everything is working as it should. Got nice. So if you come over into a wall and you try to, you won't clip through the wall, the camera won't clip through the wall. It'll work quite nice. So that's the first person. I click escape and I stop playing that and have a look at the third person, do the same scenes, playground, can have a look around. So this is the character that comes by default with it, and you can change this character's mesh, but I'll do that in a different... Well, I already did the tutorial for Game Engine 1, but I'll do an updated one showing you how to change this character's mesh for, say, one that you can download for free. But they should all be about the same. Yeah, if I click play, and we've got camera, which doesn't clip through the floor, which is great. This is a good thing about Cinemachine. Setting it up yourself can take a bit of tweaking, but it is worth it. So all the animations in this are quite nice. We've got the run animation, got a jump. You see them going up the steps. Can run up steps. Jump off, land. So there's not much to it. It's mainly the character controller that you have here, but it's a big time saver. And you can also swap out the animations for if you put in your own character mesh and skeleton, you can swap out the animations to use some of the animations that might come with your character as well. I'll do a tutorial on that. But also what you could use is, so these are very basic assets. Just noticed there's is that a flagpole? No, it's just a pole. I was thinking it's a flagpole, but it's not really a great asset. But I guess you could use this as an asset. But yeah, these blocks and especially things like these stairs, you could probably reuse to build up your own levels. And then apply your own textures and shaders onto it to make it look nice. So with these standard assets as well, there is a new tab on your bar at the top here, and that's under the tools, which could be useful. So what we can do with that is if you click on tools and then starter assets, you've got a couple of options. So you can reset the first person controller if you're in the first person scene, reinstall all the dependencies. So that's if you haven't got like the new input system working or Cinemachine working, they should be installed with the package, but just in case something goes wrong or you accidentally delete it, you can reinstall all the dependencies and it'll fix all those for you. You can reset the third person controller armature. So if I click that, I'll have to find the... So if I go onto tools, starter assets, and then reset the controller, that'll reset anything that I might have changed within the character controller. And you also have the option to switch that out for a third-person controller capsule, and that'll put that controller into the plate. So delete that and delete that. Then let's bring that in again. Starter assets, third-person controller. There you go. If I deleted that controller again, and then I could put back in the robot mesh. There we go. So that resets those things. The tools you might find useful. Okay, so let's see this put it into practice into a separate scene. Those are the playground scenes, the demo scenes, which are fine, but obviously you won't be using that for your game. So I'll just do a quick setup, bringing it into my own scene, which I've already opened this scene 1. There's nothing in it except for the default camera and the default lighting. And what I'll be using is Windows Package Manager, and I'll use this 3D Sci-Fi starter kit, which some of you might have seen previously. I'll provide a link to these packages as well. This is a free package, and I'll import all of that. And if I find that's under Creepy Cat, 3D starter kit, And we've got all the meshes. Actually, it'd be easier if I just use the example that they've already set up. And we're bright pink. Why is that? Because of the universal render pipeline. So edit, render pipeline, universal render pipeline, and upgrade project materials for universal RP materials. And I want to overwrite and proceed, and that should do that. Yep. So there we go. So we've got that's a quick overview of the scene. And where is the main center hub? I want to set this as my start area. Is that it? Not that one. Must be this one. There we go. It's got the sunken floor. That's how you know it's that one. Okay. So what do I do first? Well, it already has a camera, and we don't want the camera. That'll be the same with the your own scene, because Unity always puts a camera, or generally always puts a camera into a scene. So, but the two packages, the first person and the third person, come with their own camera, so we don't need this camera. So delete the camera, and then because we've already installed the packages, we go to Tools, Starter Kit, and we can just do the reset third person armature, and let's see, it should have put that in. So if I click on that and I click F, it'll take me to them. Yeah, and they've put them there. So all we need to do is move them out of the wall, put them into where we want them to start. If I start it there, and is that on the floor? Looks like it's, no, it is on the floor. So I'll just put that axis back to 0, the Y axis. There we go. And let's see, hopefully if I click play, we'll be able to run around. Yeah, there we go. The character probably is a bit small. Move them over to the door, and then I can maybe see. There we go, that looks a better height. Yeah. There we go. That's it in a scene. Very simple. If we want to, we can get rid of the main camera, the player follow camera, and the armature. Delete that, and we can import the first person asset. That was the third. Reset the first person. Same again. Need to just bring them into where we want it, if I can find it. Click capsule. Start over there, and maybe same again, make that a bit larger, and click play. And we should be just about all set up for a first person. See, that looks quite good. Okay, there you go. So there are options in the actual character controllers that you can change, and walk speed, move speed, sprinting, jump height, gravity, those sort of things, the standard things that you get in a character controller. The Cinemachine is in the player follow camera, and there's a couple of options in there that you're able to change as well, which, depending on the type of game you're playing with, or the type of camera movement you're trying to recreate, then you might want to play around with those. Generally, what this comes with is quite good. I don't think it needs much more tweaking. Obviously, they've set Unity set it up really well. So, and yeah, there's things you can play around with in the normal camera as well there, if you so desire, to get the look and feel that you want for your game. Okay, so that's the starter packages for your first person and your third person controllers, and how to set it up into a scene. Not much to them, or they seem, obviously there's a lot to them, but they seem quite simple. They are very simple to bring into your projects, and you can do any tweaking. There is a bit more to it about the changing things like your input system, especially if you're wanting to use these on with controllers, not just keyboard. And maybe if you were going to put it out to a touch device, so you could have touch controllers. The new input system, or newish input system in Unity, is quite good to be able to do those type of things with. I won't go over it here because we're not going to be building for a mobile device. What I'll do is I'll link to Unity's own video that shows you a lot of the same things that I've shown you, but they go into a couple of the settings and shows you how to tweak some things. And also it talks a bit more about the input system they're setting out for mobile devices, if you're interested in that. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it's been a bit of a help, and that's our first video tutorial for this module, the Game Engine 2 module. So any questions, drop me a message, Discord or Teams, or even an email, and hope you have fun playing around with this. Cheers. Bye.